How y'all feeling out there? So I want to tell a quick little story before I share some poetry. So zoom back 10 years to Burning Man. It was my second ever burn. I was out there. I had recently published a poetry book, and this is what it looked like. And Burning Man is all about gifting culture. So I brought a few extra copies to the burn, and I was like, I'm just gonna drop these, at center camp, maybe at the temple. If people are having a chill moment, they could flip open this poetry book that I wrote, and maybe it'll, inspire them in some kind of way. So I brought 5 extra copies, just gave them out, left them in the dust. Totally left my mind. I didn't hear anything for 10 years. And just about 2 months ago, I get a message from my Bandcamp page. Hardly anyone ever checks my Bandcamp page, so I'm like, this is kind of weird. So this woman found this poetry book at a Airbnb in Utah. And I was like, geez, I've never even been to Utah. Somebody must have got it from Burning Man, brought it to the Airbnb, and it sat on a shelf for freaking 10 years. And then she read it and said it was really inspiring, and she wants to buy 6 copies. And I'm like, holy shit, that's cool. So I messaged her and I'm like, this really made my day, but I'm sorry I haven't had this book in print for 5 years. I started doing a much bigger project, so I'm gonna have to redo it just for you and put out a second edition. So anyway, we kept in touch, we became Facebook friends, and then we ended up talking on the phone, and she was like, yeah, I live in Kentucky, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to an event in Kentucky in a few weeks. So then Momo hits me up, she's like, yo, we need a venue. Do you know anyone who might know a venue? So I hit her up. Turns out Vanessa right here is the one who hooked us up in this venue because of that book 10 fucking years ago. So let's give it up for Vanessa. And I'm actually gonna share the poem that's in the poetry book. I just finished the second edition, so if y'all want to order a copy, I'll be having them come in just a few days. I got the old school edition right here. But before we do that, let's just take 3 deep breaths together to all synchronize. So I invite you on a big inhale, raise your hands up, and exhale with a sigh and wiggle your body. Inhaling up, exhale with a wiggle. This one, really wiggle it out, all right? Inhaling up. Exhale with a sigh. All right, y'all ready for the journey of awakening?
Yes.
Awaken by you.
Yes.
Yo, can you sense something strange? Like we're living amidst a big change? Not a change to a new form of rocket ships. What's becoming more obvious is we need a change in consciousness. I'm talking change as we remove splinters from our brains, as we identify the sources of our pains, as we release these invisible chains. See, this culture's filled with information, but never wisdom. Little kids sitting glued to the television, getting locked into a mental prison. TV, creating hella victims, inflicting tunnel vision and programming our decisions. Clicking off is the mission. See, what if I don't conform and form a swarm of brainstorms to break all the norms? My life's been a roller coaster ride through space and time. I wasn't facing time, but I let demons infiltrate my mind. Living life centered around wasting time until I woke up. Said I ain't wasting mine. Metaphorical scoliosis. Now I've got a straightened spine. But then I felt searing pain. The world's wounds have no covering. Oceans gasping for air while civilization is smothering. Meanwhile, Gaia is trying to do some mothering. Confused kids, we just pollute her with another thing. See, we live in a world of paradox. Kenyan kids yearn for a pair of socks while Americans anxiously stare at clocks. Wasting our entire lives away until we open up our eyes and say, I'm taking off this blindfold, revealing my divine soul and changing up my mind's mold.
but we're up against the machine's invincible wrath. Tough to keep the torch lit on the invisible path. You may get lost in the darkness of despair, seeing no way out of that devilish lair. But deep in your heart, there remains an ember. Synchronistic deja vu helps you remember that a more beautiful world is possible, even amongst monstrous obstacles. All it takes is a new pair of perceptual spectacles to see that life is ineffably incredible, unforgettably majestical, because a butterfly and a caterpillar's DNA is identical. And the universe will help you unleash your potential. A change in beliefs is all that's essential. See, the world we live in is infinitely intricate. Just gotta find your niche amidst the symphony of instruments. And it's the space in between that gives life to the dream. If you keep your eyes keen, then you'll see what I mean. Beyond pessimist, optimist dichotomies are practical transition town philosophies towards a world with less PCBs and a lot of trees based on reciprocities. Converging revolutions, there are lots of these sprouting up like poppy seeds at increasing velocities. And once your ego deflates, you become humbled and grounded. Realize the universe has us surrounded. Feeling interconnected, you're bound to be astounded. But separation's been ingrained in us. No culture's as insane as us. Thinking we're invincible, we've snorted too much angel dust. To break this vicious cycle, we gotta live spontaneous. And these are just pieces to a thesis, on top of exotic hypnagogic logic. And essentially the conclusion is that separation is an illusion. No species deemed exclusion from deleterious pollution. So you may ask, who, what, where, when, how? But we're the ones we've been waiting for. The transition is now.
In all honesty, that poem is the reason why we're in this space right now. Because if I hadn't placed that book at Burning Man, Vanessa wouldn't have found it. I wouldn't have even probably ever met her. But, you know, we probably would have met eventually. But anyways, thank you for that. And now I got a special poem that no one on earth has heard before, except for now. So, Momo, can you step up to the stage? I got a special one for you. In the meantime, I will mention, if I haven't given you a free massage with this is part of my dharma on this planet, is to spread the magic of the octopus medicine. You might have tried these before, but if you haven't tried it from me, then you haven't gotten the full experience. So please see me, I got a table right over there. If you want to come by, I'd be happy to hook it up. All right, so let's give it up for the birthday goddess here. It doesn't surprise me that she was born on 1-2-3 because she lives in alignment.
Oh wait, I wasn't born on today.
Oh, but her birthday's on 1-2-3. It's close enough. 1-2-1. It's a palindrome. So there you go. Still symmetry. All right. So you all ready for this?
Yes, let's.
Momo. She brings love by the boatload. Spitting flames, she's a dragon like Komodo. Discipline, you could catch her at the dojo. Sometimes with the squad, sometimes rolling solo. She says, be here now, no time for the FOMO. Foxy Cleopatra, yes, she radiates the mojo. Feel the vibe a mile away, no need for the promo. Teach her self-love, you can see it in her photo. She's got self-hatred going extinct like the dodo. She brings the cacao, not the Hershey's cocoa. We keep it organic, we say no GMO, bro. What you think we are, loco? Sometimes she's on the go-go,
Or she could do that shit in slow-mo. Move it up and down like a yo-yo. Raise it up high, then she drop it to the flow. Should we give them less? Nah, give them more. She says, consent is sexy. Crossing boundaries a no-no. If you do, then the whole squad saying whoa. Jaguar medicine, you see it on the logo. Silly psilocybin, yeah, we got the microdo. She says life is but a dream, so let's just roll. And she rolls with the wizards and the elves like Frodo. Let's go, give it up for Momo! Thank you very much.
Give it up to Kim and May. Get it up.
A little fun fact about the Hoya song that we just released too. He was there when I first sat down with the beat and started typing on my phone. And he was making his magic in the kitchen. He was like, say something about Mr. Feeney. I'm not gonna give you all the details about the lyrics, but he has
at least 2 lines.
a few, yeah, 2 verses that go hard as fuck. Oh yeah. Yeah, anyways, that's all.